Hey everyone, it's Reed here. Today's video is, what if you knew, with absolute certainty, you only had 6 weeks to get ready? That time was growing short, and that soon, complete and total chaos would be in your life. That everything you'd been worried about was finally coming upon you, and you got 6 weeks. What do you do? Now this video is a VR response to Anthony at Palmetto Prepared. He did a 90 days to prepare video. And yes, I'm saying 6 weeks and I'm behind. So it's not an exact match. And if you're curious, one of the other good friends I have is Steve at Corsair Trainers. He did a video about this as well. Also up here to click. Now if you're on other devices that don't show those little doohickeys that YouTube lets us put in, check the description. Down there to look, and you can go check out the videos and gain some insightful information. But, this was a timely video, and it was a good point that Anthony brought up for everyone to consider, is, you're reading the news, checking everything out, noticing patterns develop, drawing the red string across, putting things up and all that, and soon you look like some serial killer, or, a detective show, either one. But it just clicks. Snap. All heck's coming. You can't say exactly what it is, how it's going to play out entirely, but boy, is wild stuff coming fast. And that's sort of where the point I see here, this election sort of turning event. Now let's see, what are we looking at here? What am I talking about? What am I concerned about? I see the election going horrifically bad. I really do. I don't really see as either side gaining an upper hand, that things will calm down, tranquility will reign supreme, and we will all be completely satisfied and happy with all the results going forward. Yeah, I don't really see that developing. And it's one of those things that's really on my mind. I see, because of all the damage we've seen to the election, all the sides saying this is wrong, there's going to be fraud here, no, we're going to have foreign influence here, all this other stuff, that we got a big problem coming. Doesn't matter which side wins. Huge issue. Then we have all the people yelling, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. Yeah, with all that talk about Civil War, you break down the barriers against it. No longer when you mention Civil War, people are like, that'll never happen. No, now people start looking and talking about it. You get the hushed tones, the look arounds, and then we have some discussion. People start opening up when they feel they can trust you and discussing it in more open manners. And the sad part is, the average person now is much more consistent considering the idea of Civil War developing and breaking out. Really shows you that barrier, that psychological barrier preventing it from moving forward, has broken down significantly. This is a big problem. Then, of course, what's something else I'm highly concerned about that I think is converging here in this perfect storm of events? Rise of COVID, right? Well, we can't say exactly what's going to happen with that disease, but there's a real good chance that, we're going to see a surge. And maybe it goes deadly. Maybe we get a Spanish flu type event. Very rare. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But it's a possibility. And I find myself concerned there. The other thing is, just from people being worried and scared and everything like that, they go ahead and say, hey, you know what? We're seeing a resurgence and all this. We don't want to risk a possible Spanish flu, so we're going to lock down again. Well, as we saw before in the prior lockdowns, we had all the Walmart shelves, your grocery stores all emptied out, all sorts of supplies missing. There were alternatives, but lots of stuff was missing. Freaked people out. Problem is I don't see the supply chain fully recovered here. So going forward, we get another heavy-duty lockdown. I think we're not going to have food alternatives. I think we're going to have no food. I think we can have whole sections of things completely and totally decimated, and things are gone. And yes, I'm using decimated in the wrong way. It just sounds better. Now, aside from jokes here, the other thing I see as a big issue is I think we have foreign players making moves. Yeah, there's stuff going on in the news and all that. I think a lot of people are really teed off about the Middle East. Iran's doing stuff like that, pushing on their alliances and all this stuff. They may put some money at trying to do a cyber attack. Now there's other players involved that decide they may want to get in the cyber thing and go at it as well. You could have other nations also angry about developments and want to just, since they see all the chaos developing everywhere, might to take their try at stabbing the US. We are the most hated country on the planet, so all of us people living here, we could definitely see a good attack against us. They may make a big play for it. And it is completely and totally possible that a cyber attack could completely and totally shut down the grid. And I don't mean just turn off a switch and we can turn it back on. I mean, cook the high voltage transformers and a bunch of other distribution transformers where it's not just a matter of turning back on. Now we have major repairs to do. As we saw from how the hurricane absolutely destroyed the power grid in Puerto Rico. Yeah, when they had the entire help of the U.S., they couldn't get it back online for frickin' 8 months in a lot of locations. Imagine how bad it'd be if we have North America shut down, and that does include Canada. We have a lot of distributions between Canada and the US, and like we've seen past power outage events, they've taken out Quebec, part of northeastern America, where, New York and stuff like that. There was that massive power outage in 1987. So, we take it out and it's almost most of North America. Yeah, that'll be unbelievably bad. And the panic and everything else that will ensue on that, huge. The other thing I see is the cyber attacks can also do a massive disruption of comms and other vital critical services. Cell phones won't function correctly. You won't be able to get in through to other people like that. The internet itself will be slow as molasses or not even responding. You could have the cloud providers also attacked and data lost. Yeah, huge issue. The other thing when you're thinking about there, guess what? The banks. All those credit cards everyone's ubiquitously use, most of that stuff now connects to the internet. It's encrypted channel and everything else, but it travels over the same thing as YouTube and everything else. That stuff goes down bad, you won't be able to buy gas, groceries, and other stuff with those cards. Big issue. So you can see massive financial damage. So yeah, I don't know what's playing out, but I'm highly concerned. So there's sort of the background on all of it. And Anthony was saying, what are you doing? Well, what am I doing? What am I going to do about all this sort of stuff? All right, I'm going to start closing up and getting a lot of projects finished and done. All right, I got a bazillion house projects to do around here. This room I'm in here that looks like a garage is actually my laundry room. I've been planning and working on remodeling this forever and get a bunch of stuff set up in here. Yeah, I'm going to move that up to the list and we're going to get that done. I'm going to put a lot of time and effort into this, and you get to see Reed's Home Improvement channel for a little while as we do that. I was planning to do this earlier, but kept pushing stuff off. I'm going to make a major push to get stuff done before I'm out of time. The other thing, I'm going to get some chickens. I've been saying I'm going to get chickens for like 3 years now. I got the coop kit out in the back. I haven't put it together. Guess what? I'm going to put the darn thing together and get off my butt. I know. It's amazing how often we can put off other projects because other stuff show up. And I've been busy as heck at work and other things, and crises are developing constantly as well. And dealing with that sort of thing. And work's been just kind of weird in and of itself this whole year, so there's that. But I'm going to say, you know what? It's time I take the big rock approach. If you don't know what that story is, if you fill a bucket with little rocks and you try to put the big rocks in at the end, it doesn't work. I gotta empty out all the little rocks, so dump all the little projects. I'm gonna put the big rocks in and finally get that finished. Okay? Getting my chickens. I want to increase the food production and stuff like that. Have a bunch of feed stashed up. Now I do have water supplies. I do have solar power. I've got food stashed away. I got medical supplies and all that. So yeah, I'm set there. But I don't have a lot of things organized. The house is really messy in several areas. I'm going to make a huge effort to organize inventory, catalog, and look at everything and make certain I'm set. It's like my pantry room that I had set up with all my stuff and food. Well, guess what? The shelves I had in there decided to start collapsing. Ugh. And yes, originally when I set it up, I just bought some plastic shelves at the store, and they're the click together types, and you set them up. Yeah, they didn't like having all the stuff on them over the years that I had several just starting to collapse. And I'm glad I noticed it before they did collapse. Oy. So, yeah, lumber, building materials, get my crafty side going, and we're going to put stuff together and make a nice set of shelves and get that all finished up. And I can also make certain I'm pretty good on the rotation. I'm usually okay on rotation. Some stuff I miss things, and I get things a bit old. When I was going through and the shelves collapsed and all that, I found stuff I completely missed, and I got some stuff a bit beyond date. Now, means they're not bad, just means the quality's degraded some and stuff like that. And I figure I'll probably make some videos about some old products and say, hey, if you find something this old, what can you do with it? Yeah, good example, right? But I did find some swollen cans, and I ain't risking that. Botulism's not something to joke with, and so swollen cans, I just kind of, empty out since I'm not starving right now, put them on the list to replace, stuff like that. But I'm going to get a lot of these little things done there. The other thing is I'm working on a big solar rewiring project, redo and everything else like that. Gonna work on that hard. I got to get a bunch of stuff done there. I also got to get a bunch of stuff done on my water supply system and stuff like that I've been putting off forever. I got plumbing in bad shape in pieces, and I've just been working on it, and I've been busy at work. So, yeah. So for me, what I am focusing hard on is shoring up all the little issues I've got everywhere. Making certain I've got all my supplies organized, get everything inventoried and all set out. Now, the other big thing I've been working on, prepping group. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you're talking about independent-minded people, thinkers and all that, it's like herding cats. And I have several cats and they can be a challenge to herd sometimes. You know, 4 little fuzzballs are quite the problem child some days. But anyways, yeah, it's hard getting everyone together, getting stuff moving, and people get busy. That's the issue. People get a lot busy. Well, I'm going to start putting the thumb screws on them, say we got to get this stuff laid out better, get things organized together, and get us all moving. Okay, there's lots of issues between all of us, and we need a good plan. All right, you know, I need to make certain I've got the supplies and all that, so if it has to be, you know, tent city around my place, we can be tent city, and everyone will be fine. It'll be a little bizarre, but we can handle it. Got to make certain that at the other places, we got the ability to move the solar power and other systems there. So if I have to leave this area, we're good at the other location. We can get the well and everything else going. Very big, important. People resource, big issue. Another thing is we have some new neighbors in the area. All right. I'm a huge, massive introvert. I detest dealing with people. I really do. So it's really hard for me to deal with people. But I need to deal with people. Yeah, so I'm going to go around, introduce, talk to people, say hi, everything else, start introducing, start making connections, start working that, and developing a relationship. It's really hard on me, but I got to do it. And a lot of times you just have to embrace the suck. It's very important to sometimes say, you know what, time to embrace this pain to get stuff done and to get things sorted out. The other thing I'm also going to work pretty much harder on is a lot more physical fitness. Strength I got, endurance I'm lacking on. So I'm going to start doing a lot more cardio and cardiovascular exercise and other stuff like that and make certain I'm in much better shape there. Sure, I can walk a good distance and I can sprint a little ways, but if I had to run several miles, I'm going to have a hard time with it. Got to address this. Has to be fixed. I also need to make certain that a lot of my plans are current and that I haven't, left something out. So a good thing to also do, review things. Highly encourage that. And other things, if you got a lot of stuff putting it off, get it done. Now, I'm going to add something to discussion I think is really important. There's a couple unique things I think is a real good idea for to do. Everyone has their smartphones. I have a smartphone. I actually don't like the darn things because I consider them a hassle, but because of my work and all that, I got forced into using a smartphone. I actually like the old flip phones a lot better. They're very reliable. The battery lasts, for 3 or 4 days at a time, unlike this other thing. But my job forced me into eventually having to get a smartphone. However, the other thing is I've noticed people don't remember phone numbers anymore. I make an active effort to remember a lot of critical phone numbers. I have a lot of numbers memorized. I can just dial it directly. No problem. But that seems to be a fading skill from a lot of people. So, go through your smartphone's list or your contact list and get out the pen and paper. And I highly recommend everyone stock up on a good supply of pens and a good supply of notebooks. All sorts of notes, papers, drawing, all this stuff is going to be highly useful and important for planning, writing things down, and organizing stuff when you no longer have access to a computer or the smartphone and other things going on. Yeah, there's a rant for another time. But anyways, write that stuff down, make a good list, and make a list that other people have that you can also give them. That there's a lot of shared contact information, and also make certain your rally points are set. And rally points are basically meetups when things go wrong and you can't reach someone, or you're going to reach them anyways, but everyone knows, head there. So if you happen to accidentally leave your phone at home and you got to bug out for some reason, here's a video by Steve where he talks just about that, and it's a really good thing. It's an older one, but a very good one when he was dealing with the California fires. You could have no comms, no access to people, and it's time to get home. The other thing I think is highly good is I'm going to dig into some other skills I've been putting off. I've been wanting to learn more about chemistry, and I've been wanting to get a lot better at food preservation techniques. Particularly, I'm interested in dry smoking methods and stuff like that, and a lot of solar dehydrations and salt preservation methods. I'm going to get into that. I've been putting it off a little bit. However, also, if you find yourself lacking in the skills area, so like that, check out Old School Prepper. She does a lot of good skill-based videos and is real good at it and gives a lot of good resources. I recommend checking her out. So that's what I am doing. I've got a lot to do, got a lot to accomplish, and I'll show you guys all that's going on, and you can laugh and giggle at me letting some stuff turn into a giant cluster bleep in some areas, and other stuff that I just was putting off. And hopefully people find it slightly educational. Hopefully this video was interesting, and hopefully everyone will be ready for chaos that's coming. And we just had a dang power outage. So, you know that sometimes the idea you say the devil's name and he shall appear? Well, apparently me talking about strange and crazy things going on in the world decided to just have that go off. And there's the phone making noise. And now there's alerts coming in from work. Great. And now, actually, even more crazy stuff. Looks like I have a cyber attack to deal with. Apparently the devil was really listening in on this one. So I'm gonna have a fun time at work. I'm gonna get into work and start looking at everything. You all be safe, and let me see if you can at least, whatever. I'm here, hiding here with my phone. But anyways, take care everyone. Read out.